Have you ever noticed that late at night you suddenly become the most motivated person on earth? You're lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, and suddenly it all clicks. Tomorrow, you're waking up at 5 a.m., hitting the gym, finally starting that side hustle, cutting out all sugar, maybe even writing the first chapter of your bestseller. You're invincible. And then morning comes. Your alarm rings. You look at it like it's personally offended you. All those bold promises, gone. You don't even want to get out of bed. What happened? Where did that unstoppable energy go? Section 1. The two versions of you. Here's the thing. You're not lazy, and you're definitely not broken. You're just running on two completely different operating systems. Night you, full of vision, ideas, and confidence. Morning you, more interested in hitting snooze than hitting the gym. This isn't a cute personality quirk, it's brain chemistry. At night, the world slows down. No emails, no notifications, no one asking you to circle back on anything. Your prefrontal cortex, the cautious, overthinking part of your brain, starts to power down. The inner critic dozes off, and the dreamer grabs the microphone. That's why at 11 p.m., starting a YouTube channel or training for a marathon feels like a great idea. It's not just you, it's your brain on imagination mode. But here's the problem. Imagining takes way less energy than actually doing. When the sun rises, your cortisol spikes, responsibilities flood in, and suddenly those big plans feel like dragging a fridge up a flight of stairs. Section 2. The science behind motivation loss. Morning you isn't the villain here. They're just built for survival mode. Your brain's priority shifts from possibility to protection, from let's reinvent my life to let's just make it through the day without collapsing. And here's where most people go wrong. They assume they need more motivation. That's like saying you need more wind to sail a boat without a rudder. What you really need is a system that works without motivation at all. Section 3. The fix. The fix isn't about forcing morning you to suddenly become as bold as night you. It's about trapping the motivation before it escapes. Step 1. Capture it while it's hot. When night you is making grand plans, don't trust yourself to remember it in the morning. Write down 1 or 2 things you want to do tomorrow. Not 10, not your entire 5-year vision board, just 1 or 2. Example, walk for 15 minutes before checking my phone. Write for 5 minutes. Write it like you're sending a note to your future self. I know you're tired, but do this one thing. You'll feel better. Step 2. Prep your environment. Morning you is unreliable, so stack the deck in their favor. Lay out your clothes. Charge your headphones. Open the document you want to write in. Place your journal on your desk with a pen. You're removing friction, making it harder to skip the task than just to start it. Step 3. Start ridiculously small. Put on your running shoes. Open the file. Stretch for 30 seconds. Write 1 sentence. It sounds too easy, but the hardest part is the first step. Momentum will handle the rest, and even if it doesn't, you still showed up, and that's how habits stick. Section 4. The big idea. Motivation is like a guest. It shows up when it wants, stays for a bit, then leaves without notice. Systems are the house you build so life still works even when the guest is gone. If night you keeps making promises, it's time morning you starts keeping them. And here's a truth most people don't realize. That little voice telling you, you're lazy, you'll never stick to this, who are you kidding? It's not an oracle. It's just background noise. and it's wrong, more often than it's right. In the next part, I'll show you exactly how to shut that voice down, so you can not only start, but consistently finish what you say you'll do, because that's when your life actually changes. If you've ever felt this night versus morning war inside you, try just one of these steps tonight and see how different tomorrow feels. And if it works, tell me in the comments. I want to know your morning you's reaction.
Section 5. The real enemy isn't no motivation. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't actually have a motivation problem. You have a decision problem. Every morning, your brain gets ambushed by a tiny but persistent voice. Just 5 more minutes in bed. Maybe start tomorrow. You're not ready yet. The more you listen, the more it wins. And the worst part? This voice is sneaky. It disguises itself as logic. That's why step 4 is all about pre-deciding before the battle starts. You want to make the choice once when you're calm, instead of 17 times in the morning while you're half awake. Section 6. Pre-commitment, the secret weapon. If you've ever booked a non-refundable flight at 2 a.m., you know how powerful pre-commitment is. You're basically using night you's confidence to lock morning you into action. Practical ways to do this. Public accountability. Tell a friend you'll send them proof you went for that walk. Financial stake. Use an app where you lose money if you skip your task. Visible reminder. Put your running shoes in the doorway so you have to step over them. By the time morning you tries to negotiate, it's already too late. You've been outsmarted by yourself. Section 7. Momentum over motivation. The fastest way to beat the morning slump isn't to chase a burst of motivation, it's to protect your momentum. Think of it like a train. Starting from zero takes a lot of force, but once it's moving, you can keep it going with far less effort. So instead of aiming for perfect mornings, aim for no zero days. Even if you do the bare minimum, write one sentence, walk around the block, you've kept the chain alive. And chains build faster than bursts. It's not glamorous, but it's how people actually change. Section 8. Understanding energy cycles. Here's something most productivity advice ignores. You have energy windows during the day. Miss them, and you're basically trying to surf without a wave. Morning you might be groggy, but maybe late morning or early afternoon is your actual peak execution time. Use night you for planning and your natural energy peaks for doing. This way, you're working with your biology instead of against it. Section 9. The reverse alarm trick. One of my favorite tactics, the reverse alarm. Instead of just setting a morning alarm, set one at night, about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. When it goes off, that's your cue to write tomorrow's 1 or 2 tasks, set up your environment, shut down screens. It turns your night motivation into morning readiness. And yes, it sounds a little ridiculous, but so is promising to run a marathon while eating cookies in bed. Section 11. When the voice comes back. That voice in your head, the one that says, skip it today, it's not going anywhere. The goal isn't to eliminate it, it's to stop letting it make the final call. One trick? When the thought pops up, say out loud, thanks brain, noted, doing it anyway. It feels silly until you realize you've just taken the steering wheel back. Section 11. Final takeaway. Night you dreams big. Morning you resists. The bridge between them isn't motivation. It's systems, pre-decisions, and momentum. If you can get those 3 things working together, you'll stop living in the loop of plan at night, abandon in the morning, and actually start stacking real wins. If you've tried something like this before, or if you're going to start tonight, drop a comment telling me what your night you usually promises. I read every single one, and some of them are hilarious and painfully relatable. And if you found this useful, share it with the one friend who's always talking about starting on Monday. You might just save them from their own morning self.